Some things I hope to learn from this interview was what 9/11 looked like through my dad's eyes. I want to know what he felt and saw throughout the day. I also want to know what the day was like during and after the attacks. What was different from a normal day, and what did the day after feel like? Overall, I hope to gain a better understanding of 9/11 by the end of the interview and know more about what my dad experienced on this tragic day. Where were you when you first heard about this attack on our nation?
I was sleeping. I had worked the previous night on shift, the midnight shift for the Delran Township Police Department, and I was sleeping, and my father called me and woke me up and told me that the World Trade Centers had planes hit them, and he told me to get up and go look at the news that we were under attack.
When you looked at the news, what were your first thoughts?
Angry, sad, just worried about the people in New York at the time and people all over the country. Um, just hoping they were okay.
What happened next?
I got a phone call from the chief of police of Delran. He asked me if I could come into work. He wanted extra patrol officers on the road because people were scared, and he just wanted to make sure that nobody knew what was going on at the time, or how long this attack was going to be, or how big this attack was going to be. So he called and asked if I wanted to go to work, and I said yes.
What was it like driving around the town?
It was quiet. The radio had the news on, and people were scared. We're getting calls from concerned parents about taking their kids out of school. So I think it was kind of like nobody knew what was going on, and just people were generally scared and just didn't understand why or what was going on at the moment.
Did anything else happen while you were patrolling the town?
While I was patrolling the town, I was called on the radio to come to the station, and by the chief. So I got to the station, and the chief and the captain were outside waiting for me to get there. And when I got out of the car, they said, "Do you want to go to New York?" And I said, "Absolutely."
What happened when you arrived in New York City?
We arrived in New York City. We had to go to the Meadowlands where the Giants play football at the time. And we had to go to a staging area where the state police were located. And we had to talk to them and give them our information and what we had or what we had to offer to help out.
What were you ordered to do?
We were ordered to take across the George Washington Bridge a convoy of medical trucks to help out with the efforts of the injured at the site, because they had nobody else to no all the New York cops were busy, and the bridge cops were busy, so we had to escort the trucks over into New York to the site.
What was the city like when you arrived?
It was just strange. It was very smoky. It was kind of like a ghost town. There was no cars on the roadway, no people walking around, not like the usual city life you would see. It was just very, except the smoke from the buildings that collapsed and the smells. This was, I don't know, it was a strange time to be in the city at that point.
Did you want to continue helping out in New York?
Yeah, me and the other guys did, but our sergeant at the time, he just didn't, he had a bad feeling, and he wanted to get out of there as soon as we could. And he probably, looking back, he probably saved our lives because, the smoke that people and all that, smoke or ash, whatever people were breathing in, caused a lot of people breathing problems now. And so I'm kind of happy that we got out of there. But we would have stayed if he would have said stay.
What did you do when you got home?
I got home and took a long shower because I had to get all that stuff off me, all the dust and debris, and just ate a meal and just went to bed and was tired because it was a long day.
How did you feel the day after, and how was it different from any normal day?
It's the day after just changed a lot of people's. You never thought an attack like that could happen, and how they did it, and just made you think more, about your safety and going places, and just you're saddened, and things will never be the same again. Even to this day, they're not the same.
After this interview with my dad, I learned a lot more about 9/11 than I previously knew. I learned more about what my dad did during 9/11 and his feelings throughout the day. I was able to learn more about what 9/11 looked like. I now know what the days following this event felt like as well, and how they were different than any other normal day. Overall, I gained a better understanding of 9/11 as a whole and learned what the day looked like from my dad's point of view.